Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another late night stream. And you might already have recognized it. It's U-Boat again, and we are continuing where we stopped yesterday night. So what's the status? Yeah, the big picture is we are in July, early July 1943, which means we are more than 3.5 years into the war, and the enemy, the Allies, are, well, really learning their lessons. They have better equipment, they have the hedgehogs by now. The convoys actually do large-scale zigzagging, and they have loads of escorts with them, and the escorts really know what to do. So yesterday, if you remember, we intercepted that convoy nicely, and well, then finally, when we approached the convoy, just like it was the last time, fog settled down. So visibility was down to 100 meters, and in the fog, yeah, we went into the convoy, infiltrated it on periscope depth, but we were just not able to figure out how to get any clear target in the fog. And yeah, after a while it sounded like that the convoy was passing by something like 1.5 miles ahead of us. And then I successfully increased speed, and that was the mistake, because when I went to flank speed with my electric engines, we were pinged. They detected us, and that's not much of a surprise, but well, I mean, it's nice to see that the game mechanics actually work. I just lost patience, and well, then they went after us. On the first approach we were lucky because we were just on periscope depth still, and I saw an incoming destroyer full speed, and I was still hoping to give him a stern torpedo, but then I saw these little flashes on the forecastle and heard that machine gun-like sound, and then I knew they were firing hedgehogs. So I ordered crash dive at once, and we got away, but only because they didn't yet have a good aim on us. And yeah, then later, actually, when we were down to already 230 meters, a hedgehog volley took us, yeah, completely off guard, and that was really the fastest sinking that I ever saw. So within a minute, all 3 or 4 compartments were completely flooded, no chance at all, and we died. And at that point I said good night. It was pretty late, and so now this is the challenge. This is the challenge now, to survive this. Yeah, I mean, generally, I'm doing the complete playthrough through the game, so U-Boat gives us a wonderfully modeled open world. There is nothing scripted, all the encounters are just natural encounters. There is, yeah, real fleets and real convoys passing across the oceans, and you have to figure out where they are, encounter them, and that's what's going on right here. So here you see how we nicely circumnavigated the convoy and dropped ourselves in front of them, dived and infiltrated the convoy. But as I said, with all the fog going on, there was not much of a chance. Hey, why can't I assign more sailors? Guys, we are diving. So why can't I assign more sailors?
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloin?
Yeah, before we start the time acceleration again, let's see to get... Yeah, pretty hard to tell. pretty hard to tell where they are by hydrophone with all these contacts going on around. Do I already have casualties? No, the crew is fine.
Aktuelle Tiefe 125 Meter. Ich könnte etwas
Okay. Now guys, let's see that we get away alive. That's the only thing now. All the guys on battle station, we are doing 100% silent running. 150, hey, come on. Shall we? Shall we drop a pill? Yeah. Mr. Schultz is gonna drop a pill, and let's see if this helps us in some way. So he first has to take it out of the stores. And there we are. So this is making a hell of a noise now. This is gonna make a hell of a noise, and let's hope that it gives them some distraction. There was one lone merchantman on that course, completely independent on that large convoy. So if we get out of this alive, I would like to chase down that single merchant. Yeah, Mr. Schultz, get back to your station. Don't stand around like an idiot. You've got things to do. Go for the command station, please. Now we are doing slow forward. Get gyro compass turned off. The dive planes to manual. Silent running enabled, so we should be fairly silent. Air quality is already below 80%, but the battery charge level is still alright. Yeah, I'm doing the complete playthrough through the campaign, through the whole war, which meant that we started on the eve of the Second World War, so on the eve of Hitler's raid on Poland. And yeah, we did mission after mission all that time. And yeah, I did stream everything, so I'd share the whole campaign with you. And a big part of the campaign is now also on YouTube, actually. For a little while I tried to do the multi-stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, but usually these streams became unstable, or pretty often they became unstable. And yeah, Streamlabs Desktop, which I use for streaming, seems to be known for using unstable service when they do this multi-streaming. The simple single streaming right now on Twitch is perfectly fine, and so although it's a pity, I would love to share this as a stream also on YouTube, but yeah, it's just too bad when the stream stops just in the middle. So this is why I came back to just streaming on Twitch, my favorite little community, and I'm gonna upload it afterwards to YouTube. Yeah, that sounds so close. And it's already 90 liters of water in the... Okay. Oh, shit. Depth charge is being dropped on us. But at least... Hi, weight loss, good evening. So were you still with us yesterday when we got sunk? When we got, yeah, really bad beating, and it was probably hedgehogs. Yeah, so that was the last thing. It was pretty late already back then, and so I took that opportunity to go to bed. Well, I mean, now if there is this hurly-burly all around, why not making some noise? Okay. So in Broadside Cruiser, which game was this? Oh no! They are getting us again. Come on. Now tell us what is the damages. Let's get a little bit more upwards so that we get less pressure. Star Wars, yep. Now, which damages do we have? So, torpedo tube. I can live with that. I can live with that. So Mr. Grada is gonna go for the repair. There he goes, and we get more. We get loads of leaks by now. 3 leaks. Oh shit, and look at that, how fast the water is coming in. That's not good. That's not good. So somebody turn off the ventilation system. The pump is running, which is alright. What else do we have? We have 3 leaks astern. Can we handle it? So Mr. Grada, please don't care for the torpedo tubes, but care for the leaks. Hole on the starboard. Hole on the port side. Hole in the hull. So guys, flank. Please. Oh shit, look at that. Look at that. And we are getting more, probably. How fast the water is coming in. Oh no. Wow. Wow. Look at that. Oh, yeah, but plugging? What do you mean? I mean, you don't have that option, have you? To be honest, I'm not quite sure what you mean. And now, guys, we're gonna blow the tanks. We are gonna blow the tanks. Emergency. We are dropping down, and the guys are probably dying there with oxygen. Oh, God. Look at... No chance. Look at that. No chance at all. How fast the water is coming in. No. Yeah, blowing the tanks just doesn't work. Yeah. No. All the compartments being flooded. All the crew heavily injured. No. Okay. Yeah, the guys are dying. And we are... Yeah. Alright, guys. How tough is this? How could they drop all these depth charges upon us? Yeah, let's try once more. And now, let's try another strategy. Ah, okay, right click on the leak. Didn't know that. Okay. Interesting. So you think this is vanilla? I never saw that. It's not a mod that you can do that plugging. Gonna be very curious on that. I think we will have plenty of opportunity in the next minutes to try it. By the way, it's great to have all of you guys in. So you see us in a very critical situation. So let's stop. Let's see that we get completely silent. Maybe we can get away with that. Yes, yeah, Colin, you're 100% right. 100% right. Hi, by the way. Nice to have you in again. And yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, that's the problem, that the water rushes in with full force. Yep. Yeah, Colin. That's right. On the other hand, I thought when I go flank speed, I just attract their attention towards me. So I think, yeah, well, I don't know. I think for now I'm gonna do it without a decoy, and I turned off the engines. We are completely silent, and let's see if they might miss us if we do it like that. The crew is on silent running. Yeah, weight loss. Yeah, that was just... Yes, right, that's it. So when they drop depth charges, I could drop the decoy and go flank, yep. But, well, in this situation a minute ago, I had the feeling that by going flank, even though there was a ship dropping depth charges pretty close, I think I drew, nevertheless I drew additional attention on me by going flank. That's my gut feeling, that in this situation it was not a good idea. In the past it usually worked. Get depth charged, have a destroyer passing just above you, go flank, change course for 90 degrees. I didn't do that, did I? Oh yeah, well, I tried. I wanted to watch it, but well, then our daughter had kind of a breakdown because she has to deliver a report on Monday, and she still had so much work to do, and so I actually spent the afternoon. Me and my wife spent with our daughter to help her a bit with that report, and that was, well, so that's why I missed. They are pinging. That's when I missed the game. And I checked afterwards on that channel that I would have been available. Yeah, that I would have had available. It was not yet uploaded. But maybe my hope is, because all the games were, my hope is that maybe tomorrow I can watch it. But yeah, what I understood is that it didn't go so well for Scotland, right? What was the other game in the evening? Well, I think at 5 in the afternoon there was another game, right? Was it England? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, fast-moving propellers passing by above us, but at the moment we only got that single ping. So maybe they didn't recognize us.
Kommandant, feindliche Schiffe machen sich
Another
gefechtsbereit.
ping.
Das ist nicht einfach, aber wir haben schon Schlimmeres überstanden.
Ah, is it? Ah, okay. Gonna check that. We are pinged now, several pings. But I mean, what I understand is that just because you hear the sound of the ping, it doesn't necessarily mean that they detect us. Yeah, we are really going deep now to 160 meters. Yeah, there is a merchant ship, alright. That doesn't help me much. 80 liters of water in the bilge. Yeah, that's uncritical, but still makes me nervous a bit. They're passing by right above us. Fingers crossed that they don't drop. If they drop, I would go for flank speed.
Herr Kapitän.
And
175 Grad.
yeah, guys. It's amazing that Ireland is so good. So, what I never quite was sure about, is it the Republic of Ireland team or is it the Northern Ireland team? Or do they have a joint team? Which would be interesting.
Kommandant, feindliche Schiffe geben Alarm. Zeit, unsere Not zu testen, Männer.
Okay, that's the sound of a ping in slow-mo. Ping, ping, ping. Yeah, if the pings continue, it's high probability. Ah, that's great. All Ireland team. I love that. I love that approach. That they come together in a... Oh, okay, that was Did you hear? Did you hear that on the stream? That was... that was hedgehogs dropping. They are being fired. Now we can just keep fingers crossed that they miss us. Let's see. Yeah, the problem is that the hedgehogs, they don't have a depth meter. The depth charts were set to a certain depth to explode, but the depth charts, the hedgehogs, they just drop down and sink, and they detonate when they hit the hull. And that could take a while, being on minus 160 meters down here. It might take a minute for them to sink down. They were dropping depth charts. Oh man. This is a tactics that I never did before. In the past it was always like when they were dropping depth charts, I went flank speed and changed course for 90 degrees. But let's try it the other way around. Seven meters per second, okay. Oh, okay, they are firing again. That was more hedgehogs. And more depth charges. And more depth charges. There are depth charges exploding. Exploding. Not too close. Come on, guys, let's keep fingers crossed. Let's keep fingers crossed. Yesterday they already sank another German submarine. Yeah, they are still far off, but they dropped a lot more. So I'm still worried. Ship propellers right above us. More depth charges, yeah. Black May was moved to July, at least for me, yeah. That's right. Oh, they are dropping like hell. Let's keep fingers crossed that they are just guessing. We are at 150, that's pretty deep. More depth charges. Oh, I'm very worried. Even more, they are dropping like hell. There is 5, 6, 7, 8 escorts circling up there, I'm sure. Yeah, you think I should move? Do you think they are getting closer? I don't know. I don't know. Getting closer, aren't they? Oh, come on. They are dropping and dropping. Or should I go deeper? What do you think? Should I try to get deeper? so that, yeah, they wouldn't realize that a German submarine could go so deep, so that would mean that they have a wrong detonation depth put onto the depth charts. You think I should go even deeper? So let's do some static diving. That will be very slow, but at the moment I'm not ready to move. I'm not ready to turn on the engines. Just too afraid. Yeah, the crew will become more and more nervous now that we go deeper. We are closing to the red area. We are silently sinking. Yeah, what they say is not quite coinciding with what the... Okay. Yeah, however. What the gauge says. Deeper, Chief. Get us deeper. There is the propellers getting louder and louder again. They're still passing across us. 175 meters. We're still at 80 liters in the bilge. Yeah, this is what you said, weight loss, some time ago, that the leakage that you get is only due to, I mean, when you are submerged, the leakage is only due to the drive shaft. And when you're not moving, you don't have a leak, water seeping in, obviously. I have closed the bulkheads. Yep, they should be closed. Yeah, you're completely right. And usually I do that when the crew goes for alarm. I usually standard-wise also close the bulkheads. Lots of contacts. Here. U-86 was sunk quite some time ago. Oh shit, oh god. More hedgehogs. Of course, for the hedgehogs it doesn't matter when we are deeper, because they don't have that ignition depending on the depth, but they have the impact ignition. And at that depth, they are so strong, obviously. So it looks like that the hedgehogs create enormous leaks when they hit you. 190. Yeah, but shouldn't they explode when they hit the seabed? I mean, don't they have some, impact pistols? So when they hit the seabed, they should blow, shouldn't they? But yeah, you think it's too soft. Propellers directly above us. Yeah, okay, you think it's too soft, that they just wouldn't go off. Yeah. Again, close. Now I'm relying on your experience. You say 220 is still alright. Let's go deeper, Chief. Yeah, the crew is not yet in a panic mode. Discipline 99%. Okay, there is the depth charge going off, but still in some distance, fingers crossed. Yeah. Weight loss, that would also be pretty high on my priority list of improvements that they would have. It might be something statistical, or depending on how often you dive. So when you come back home, there will be a complete overhaul of the ship, and then it's fine. But then if you go to that depth again and again, you might increase the probability that something breaks. So this is what I would like to have. If you would go to these depths, that there is a certain probability that some gasket or something blows off, and that this probability is increasing the deeper you go. And this is exactly what you mean with your command, I think. Yep, we had been talking about that before. So maybe this is 2 on my top 5 list. The one is this about navigation, that you would have to do true navigation, or that you at least have the possibility to do that, to max out your difficulty level by checking true navigation, so that your position is not given away on the map, but you have to do it with the sextant and dead reckoning and things. And the other one is this, that they would give it some statistics or make the damage model due to depth a bit more complex. Yeah, nice. So did you play it with the League mod? You mentioned that before, I remember. Maybe this is a mod that I would like to install. Yep. Yeah, to hammer out the kings, yep. Yeah, I really should do more modding, yep. By the way, good evening guys, there's quite a few people dropping into the stream, which is great. So when I mention it, don't feel observed, you're completely anonymous. I just see the number, the overall number of watchers, and that's perfectly fine for me if you just lurk. But let me mention anyway that you would make a little streamer like me a little bit more happy if you would participate in the chat, because this is what is, at least for me, the best thing about streaming. It's gaming, of course, but yeah, the communication is just great. Yeah, but nevertheless, don't feel pushed. Just watch if you like to watch. Okay, yeah, I remember you mentioned that Was it that that mod? That when you install the mod you have infinite rebreather? Yeah. I think that was the reason why I kind of forgot about the mod again, and it was not showing up on my, say, brain internal top list, because you mentioned that bug. But if it's fixed, yeah. And I'm not quite sure whether this compartment philosophy is already perfect. I mean, imagine you have one compartment being flooded, and yeah, okay, I could evacuate the compartment. So I never used this button. If one compartment is about to be flooded completely, and I press the evacuate button, would they get all out, or would I still be able to have one guy, manually put him or send him into the compartment for repair? Hey, not wet, just cold. Yeah, why am I so deep? I'm just doing some testing. I'm just testing the limits. Everything is alright. Hey, Captain Jimbo, nice to have you in. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. We actually got killed once more right after I have started the stream. But right now, I'm just trying to silence it out. So we have all the engines stopped, all the systems are on silent running, and I went as deep as 200 meters by now. And they had been dropping on us like hell, but it was all misses. We were lucky up to now. I didn't move for an inch, and yeah, fingers crossed. All what they dropped upon us was going to miss up to now. And at the moment, the propellers sound not so close. So at the moment, I'm a bit more optimistic than I was 15 minutes ago. Okay, that's great. This mechanics is great, weight loss. Evacuate and then send one guy with a particular order to repair back in. Yeah. Although I've been playing the game for so long by now, there is still stuff to learn. Yeah, thanks to you guys in the chat. Yep. Yeah, not wet, just cold. I never did this systematically. Yeah, sometimes they get you, and they are getting tougher and tougher. Now it's July 43, and it's so many escorts accompanying the convoy. And then there was this bloody fog again. This bad visibility when we entered the convoy. Yeah, weight loss. Maybe it was a good idea to go deeper. Yeah, I had the bulkheads closed. It was just some kind of bug. I don't know why this bulkhead is open here. See? I have the bulkheads closed, so I have no idea why this bulkhead is open at the moment. Maybe because this guy was just stupidly standing in the door. So here we are. I am in the close bulkheads mode, yep. This is something I learned quite some time ago. Yeah. Yeah, the guy was kind of standing in the door having a chat with his crewmate, obviously. Yeah, now it looks a bit more like we might survive. I would be so curious about the seabed. So if you look at the map around here, it's 500 to 750 meters deep, so no chance of, yeah, the seabed being our netting, our backup. I don't know, actually. I thought they could just any depth, but my hope is that the Allies are not aware of the fact that the submarine can go so deep, so that they let them explode at something like 120 or something, so that we are left alone down here. Yep, Captain Jimbo. That's how I do it since a while, yep. Yeah, this sound is nice, this creaking of the hull. But it should have some effect. Discipline is still alright. Yeah, the crew in total is pretty tough. Give it a save now. Now that things seem to have quieted down a bit. Air quality 73. Now the question is, how long will be cruising above our heads? And when will they return to their convoy? 300 meters, yeah, okay. Yep. I wouldn't go that deep to avoid them. Interesting, yeah. And the problem is with the hedgehogs. So the hedgehogs would go for just any depth. They have this ignition, impact ignition, impact pistol, and they would just go off when they hit your hull. By the way, let me mention that today I actually did install a new game. I bought and installed a new game, which is Sherman. What's it called? Sherman Tank Commander? Sherman Commander, yeah. It came out just today and it was on my wish list. I was even thinking about streaming it tonight, but on the other hand, I have this feeling. I do promise to you that I stream UBOAT, and so I should stream UBOAT. But I think this week I'm gonna stream it, and I pretty much like it for a beginning. So the graphics is not complete high-end, but nice, just like I would say here for my favorite games. There is something about the graphics, so which gives you quite some nice immersion. Quite some nice immersion, but it's tough actually. I played one mission, the first mission of the of the campaign. I did play on medium difficulty level, and I tried it 2 times just tonight before I went into this stream, and I didn't manage it, but still I liked it. You slip into the role of a tank commander, but at the same time you also command a set of infantry and a few other tanks, and that's great. The game is great, so I just hope that in the campaign mode you also have some kind of immersion, like, I mean, what I love is when you have this effect. So you do a mission, you have to repair your tanks, and your crew gains experience, and I'm not yet sure. I think they don't have it implemented yet. The game is early access, Sherman Commander. It's early access, and for early access it already works very, very well, I would say. Yeah, weight loss, they were all close. So there was another submarine, but it was already sunk. You might be right. You might be right, but, well, I think, I hope, positive thinking, that they tried to hit me and didn't. And yeah, Colin, you're right. Might be that they're just floating silently on the surface, waiting for me to come back to the surface, which of course is a bit of a risk for them, because I might sink them like that if I silently get back to periscope depth. And yeah, I just see Isley has joined the stream. Nice to have you in. Good evening. So, how are you doing? A pleasure to have you back in. How was your week? How was your Saturday? Yeah, that's right, Colin. There might be others around. Yep. So I don't feel like going to the surface, because sinking escorts doesn't help much to to get further in the game. Yeah, a third one may be well possible. So guys, what do you think? I am now considering to go to Kleine Fahrt, slow speed ahead, silent running ahead, and hope that they don't recognize me, and see if we can slowly get away from them. What do you think, or is it too risky to now increase our sound signature? Only one way to find it out, yep. Let's do it.
Kleine Fahrt voran.
there is a stationary... It's a sinking wreck, yeah. Yeah, remember? That other submarine sank at least one ship. Okay, and that's him.
205 Meter.
Single 01. Maybe we are going to go for that one afterwards if we survive this one. Time is 10:52. Which means it's a bit more than an hour ago that we got the last reading on that guy. That's weird. That doesn't make sense. That really doesn't make sense. Yeah, but however, we're gonna go for that one. If we survive this, we're gonna go for that one later. Yeah, the convoy is moving away, and let's hope that sooner or later the escorts will leave us alone as well. Hey, what are you guys running around? Bit nervous?
Herr Kaloin?
Yeah, shall we give it a bit of time acceleration? So what's our position right now? Let's mark it. Us at 10:55. Yeah, let's see that we sneakily get away. Yeah, I guess Colin, you're right that there is still a bunch of escorts sneakily lying up there, seeing if I come back to the surface. But I won't for now. That's the sinking wreck. Yeah, maybe we are getting away at the moment. Maybe we are getting away. Let's give it another save. Yeah, it's so tough, and that was so ugly that we ran into that fog just when we were about to attack the convoy. And with a visibility of 100 meters, you just can't figure out any targets. That just doesn't work. So on we go, and give me a second. I don't press stop or pause. I'll just be back in 60 minutes. Sorry, 60 seconds, of course. Right. Thanks for your patience. Here I am again. Great that you are still there, and even more. So, guys, number of watchers going up a bit. It's a pleasure to have you in. Good evening. Don't feel observed. You're anonymous. Just see the numbers, but nevertheless, of course, everybody's welcome to participate in the chat. Give us a hi. Tell us what you think about the game, about the stream, what your relation is to the game. Do you play it by yourself? Are you long, 10-year experienced UBOAT, or just new, where you're from, or just silently lurk, which is perfectly fine just as well. So at the moment, I feel that we might get away. What about the water in the bilge? Ooh, yeah, okay, now that we are moving, although we are moving slowly, now we get in water through the drive shaft gasket. So the drive shaft is moving. And yeah, this is really some sophisticated stuff to get the drive shaft tight. And yeah, many years ago I had been, or let me, so that I don't sound that old, let me phrase it, a few years ago, I've been working for a company building, manufacturing vacuum pumps. And there you have a similar problem, just the other way around. So you create a vacuum in the pump by having some rotating parts. Yeah, and yeah, there you have a similar problem that you have to get the rotating part, the drive shaft, tight against the outer pressure. Yeah, no point. By the way, good point. Let's check. We can see what's the efficiency of the pump. External pressure equals 21 atmospheres. Pump's performance is decreased by 100%. We wouldn't get any water out with the pump. And probably we wouldn't get any water out with the compressed air. Like, see, we are working against 21 atmospheres. What's the pressure in our... Yeah, okay, it's 240 atmospheres, so we would still get a bit of water out, but we would need most of that compressed air to just get a bit of water out. It never works when you use your compressed air to blow the tanks when you're that deep. I always wanted to try that under controlled conditions. Maybe we could do that once. Bounty hunt plus 11, I don't know why. So somehow the crew is euphoric about what we do here, but they are pretty worried about the current depth, so this gives us almost minus 70 debuff in discipline per minute. Yeah, that's it. I mean, we could let the crew step away from battle stations. Yeah, I think it was a good decision to become completely silent and dive deeper. The sinking wreck. Let's mark the sinking wreck. So shall we carefully get a little bit further up? So how far did we travel from our last position? 1 mile. Not quite 2 miles. Yeah, let's get a little bit up, and there is still the fog up there, and it's 11:30, almost lunchtime.
Aktuelle Tiefe 200 Meter. Meter. Meter.
Yeah, it's in principle it's uncritical. If you have 200 liters of water in the bilge, that doesn't change too much of the diving dynamics, but yeah, our then it becomes 300, 400, 500, and at one point you really want to get that out. But as long as you are so deep, there's no chance. Now we are at 150. Let's see. Okay, so the pump would give us now 25% at least. I think it's exponential, is it? No, it's not, right? Is it linear? Yeah, it's linear. In air, the air pressure actually is exponential because the air gets compressed and gets more and more dense when you get from space down to the surface. So that's kind of exponential, but the pressure in water, I think it should drop linearly. So correct me if I'm talking bullshit, but without spending any further thought towards it, I think that would make sense to assume it to be linear. Let's get further up.
Aktuelle Tiefe 125 Meter. 105 Meter. Schraubengeräusch. Kriegsschiff. Peilung 2.
200 degrees. Oh, well.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloin?
So 200 degrees would be somewhere there. So maybe we are lucky and they are moving away. Yeah. I think that seems to be alright. We can go further up. Let's go to 50 meters. Yeah, okay, at 100 meters the performance of the pump was decreased by 50%. So if what I say is correct, at 50 meters we should have 25%. If all these things behave more or less linearly. Yeah, at the moment that looks consistently. Yeah, pretty much looks like the performance of the pump is linear with the depth, and at something like 150 meters it's just too much pressure and the pump doesn't get against the pressure anymore at all. So then at 150 roughly the performance of the pump should be reduced to 0, or well, yeah, reduced by 100% to 0. How far away is the sinking wreck? Actually 2 miles. Yeah, if I would, it might still be that if I spot it, I might get it accounted for when I report it, when the other submarine who actually sank it, when they were destroyed, I could still let this be accounted for us. I think this might work in the game. I'm pretty sure that a long time ago, now and then, I got accounted for ships that I didn't sink, that were sunk by another submarine. maybe somebody should attend to the depth steers so that we make sure that we don't broach the surface. There we are. Yeah, it's still so foggy. I think I want to check that out. Let's get there. Yeah, they're all far away. They are pretty far away. So what's the distance? Yeah, more or less exactly 1 mile. Let's go for periscope depth now nominally. So that should bring the boat up a bit further. Yeah, okay. So was this the match that was taking place at 5 o'clock in the afternoon? Yeah, I should get some time tomorrow to have a look. Anything ahead of us in the fog? So what's the distance by now? Just 4 cables. Should be dead ahead. Is there anything still there afloat? There might be some wreckage. There might be some wreckage, but right now we don't have the noise of the sinking wreck anymore. think that we find anything, but let's proceed. So the guy is going on that course, obviously. Let's see that we at least get that one. Now guys, what do you think? Is it safe to get back to the surface, or will their radar pick us up then? Radar range was pretty limited back then. So what did I say? They were moving with 10 knots, 10 miles per hour. So let's see, 10 hours would bring them 5 hours. So that would be 2 hours. And what about us? If we go flank, 2 hours would bring us to something like that. And let's give it a save. And then let's go back to the surface. I think it should be safe by now. So silent run disabled, stop direct orders, open bulkheads, dive plans to electric, and gyro compass turned on. And let's go flank speed. Let's see if we can take down that guy. So it was 12 o'clock, 2 hours. One hour. All right. So let's do another hydrophone check to confirm their position. They must be somewhere there. Let's delete these other markers. They might just confuse, and we don't need them anymore. That was so tough to interfere with that convoy in the dense fog. And it's still so foggy. Yeah. You see, we still need a bit of tonnage, almost 100 tons to finish the Arctic Convoys mission set. And it's becoming so tough, actually.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Schraubengeräusche, Kriegsschiffe, kleine Gruppe, Peilung 195 Grad. Schraubengeräusch, Handelsschiff, Peilung 10 Grad.
Okay, that's them.
45 Meter.
There it is, it's a bit ahead. No surprise, because I didn't have the latest news. Let's give it some marking on the map somewhere there. Single 01. And we want to get that guy. What about the other contacts? They are far away by now. Yeah, they're just following their course eastward. And another 2 hours.
45 Meter.
16, 32 would bring us there. What about them? Another 2 hours.
50 Meter.
And they are fast. They are moving fast indeed.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Yeah, let's finish the hydrophone check just in case there might be some more contacts coming in.
25 Meter.
Auf diese Motoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Still so foggy. Does the fog ever go away? 2:15. So we should be going till 4:15. Yeah, maybe we can sing at least this one guy. Yeah, we are going flank speed. We are going to try to chase that guy down. And now he should be somewhere there, which is a rough distance of 13 miles. Let's give it another hydrophone check
Tauchen auf.
to confirm their position. Yeah, by the way, when I'm back to the surface next time, I'm going to... Yeah, let's not forget to turn on the pump to get the water out of the bilge.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
There we go.
Schraubengeräusch, Handelsschiff, Peilung 5
Yeah, it's really a pay soup. Yeah, just 100 yards, maybe 200 yards of view. Yep. By the way, I love pea soup in real life. Let me just mention that. And it's so easy to be made by yourself. Here we are. So my dead reckoning is pretty alright. Looks like they are here. That's the single ship that we are trying to chase down.
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
45 Meter. Kurs setzen.
So now another hour would bring them there, and another hour would bring us there. Not yet even up with them, but with a distance of 6 miles. Yeah, that looks alright. Let's go for that 1 hour till 20 past 5. Yeah, pea soup is great. I mean, I don't know how you do it in other countries, but German style pea soup just have, yeah, dried peas and celery, an onion. What else do you need? Some carrots, finely cubed, and thinking about how do you call it? Leech. Let me check that. Haven't been. Yeah, it's leek, not leech. Leek. Yeah. So leek, celery, an onion, parsley, and some carrots, all cubed, and just, yeah, and a bit of bacon. And then cook everything for 1.5 hours, maybe more, and you get a wonderful pea soup. It's really almost no work to do that by yourself. Peas and ham, yep. To be honest, I'm never quite sure about what is ham and what is bacon. So bacon is the raw stuff, right? Which is sometimes smoked. And this is what we would put into the pea soup. And ham is the cooked bacon, something like that.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet.
Yeah, I have to admit that when I was in Scotland back then, I Never did dive much in the local cuisine. Yeah, just because I didn't have the money, so
Anblasen.
I went to Chinese takeaways, and then I didn't quite like them, and then I went to Indian takeaways, and I pretty much liked them, and that was when I actually bought myself a cookbook about Indian dishes and started to do them by myself to save money. And
Aktuelle Tiefe.
only a few years later, yeah, and what I quite liked it was back then. Yeah, I was a few years younger, so on the way back from the pubs or from the club, there was this, what you get, haggis and chips. Pretty much like that. I was not so much fan of the fried Mars bar, I have to admit, but haggis and chips, that was perfectly fine back then. Yeah, that was really the perfect finish when you had a few pints and were on the way back home. Yeah, that sounds good, yeah. I pretty much like stews, actually. Stews are great. This is kind of a stew, isn't it? Or is it really more like a soup? Yeah, that's at least for me something like a stew is more or less a thick soup. That would be my interpretation at least. Yeah, I pretty much like soups and stews both. Although to do a good soup is usually quite some effort. So like when you're talking about chicken stock, the base for a soup already turns out to be quite some work to prepare if you do it by hand. No. Let's go for one more hour. Something like that. Let's go. 20 past 5. Here we go. Yeah, we should catch up with that guy and get him. Who is gonna get tired? Yeah, just take a rest at the hydrophone, alright. So here we are. They should be there. Yeah, we could go for just one more hour. We don't need to do a particular hydrophone check right now, I think. So after an hour we should be there and they should be there. So yeah, then we should be well ahead of them. in a situation to cut off their way. Excuse me for a minute.
Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
Now, let's carry on, trying to intercept them. I didn't turn on the pump yet.
Lenzpumpe einschalten. Navigation besetzen.
Mr. Grades, sorry it's your watch, but I need you at the engines.
Düse besetzen.
I still want to go flank speed.
Benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kaloi.
Kurs setzen.
Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloi.
So let's do a final, maybe a final hydrophone check.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
And yeah, then we could smoothly intercept them. I mean, early in the war I would have just approached them on the surface and sink them with the deck gun, but nowadays you have to expect that these merchantmen are equipped with more deck gun firepower than our submarine actually has. So better approach it below. Submerged. And give it a kill with the torpedo.
Ja?
somewhere around there. Let's see. Okay, Twitch said you had a little ads break. Yeah, sorry guys, I can't help it. I really don't need the breaks, but you have to place them. I'm an affiliate, which at least gives me some flexibility in, I maximize the time between the breaks and I minimize the time of the breaks. But yeah, still, I think it's 30 minutes. I can't put the breaks further apart than 30 minutes. And I still have to do them something like 90 seconds each at least. I could place them closer and make them longer. So this would be about money, right? So the more ads I push down your throat, the more money I would get. But yeah, that's just ridiculous for me as a smart streamer. It's just cents.
50 Meter.
Alarm! Küstenschiff, 130 Grad.
Einige Schiffe versenkt.
Okay. We have that one. Seems to be a coaster. Yeah, the carcass of the roast chicken, yep. And you can, yep. Yeah, and even gets better each time you reheat it. These kind of foods get better. So now they have considerably changed course. Yep. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, actually, I'm a big fan of cooking. So, I love to cook. And actually, here at home with our family, I'm the guy who prepares the meals. Usually. So our children are educated a bit the other way around. Not quite like society's standard. Yeah, the lentils and the peas, that's great, yep. And then you really get some kind of more like a thick soup, I think, right? Beautiful. So you take dried lentils, dried split peas, right? So usually you don't have to soak them overnight. You can just put them in and it just takes something like half an hour, 40 minutes for the split peas as well as for the lentils. Great, that sounds great. I really get into the mood to try that out. Yeah, maybe I would do this luxury variant and buy a dedicated soup chicken. Don't know if this is the right term. I mean, in Germany, you can get soup chicken, which is chicken which doesn't have much meat. So you wouldn't like to have it for a Sunday roast, but you can put it into your stock to give it a good flavor. Ah, you do. Okay. Yep. Yeah, it would save time if you let them soak overnight. Yeah. And there we go back to the surface.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
I don't know. Pretty much looks like they have changed course.
25 Meter.
Maybe they're heading for Narvik. I don't know. Of course, yeah, we still have that problem that it's just a single merchant. It might still be that it's not an enemy but a neutral, and then we can't sink it. Completely forgot about that. I didn't have single merchants for a while, for months in game.
Bestätige.
So pretty far away. 5 miles. So they were moving that way all the time, so it looks a bit like they have changed course. Maybe they're going like that.
Bestätige.
Yeah, I haven't yet planned our food schedule for tomorrow, but maybe I'm not quite sure. Maybe we still have some pea soup in the deep freezer. Maybe I will just get it out. So, yeah, the family is not keen on a roast, so it's not like they expect some traditional roast on Sunday. Yeah, but then it really becomes good, right? By the way, what I could imagine also to have a few potatoes in it. That's maybe what I would do, which would also increase the thickness over time. That sounds very good. Yep. I'm sure that I would love that recipe. So now them going 1 mile and us going 1.5. Then we would be just a mile apart. Let's go to save. But we still have this dense fog. And by now... no. Let's go for periscope depth. No, I don't know. What is it? What is Stovies?
Herr Kaloi, wir sind auf Seerohrtiefe. Boot für Rundblick eingesteuert.
Auf E-Motorenwechsel.
Herr Kapitän?
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
338. There it is. Yeah, my dead reckoning is not bad after all these years playing U-Boat. Please tell me, I'm very curious. What about these stovies? Yeah, what I would think is that traditional Scottish food is very basic, and this is what I also love about traditional German food in some regions.
Kurs setzen.
I don't need alarm. Step away, please, from battle stations. Relax, everybody. Yeah, but in the fog it's gonna be tricky to figure out. Must be that one. And from the hydrophone signature, we seem to be sure that it's a coaster. Let's see. Seems to be pretty much dead ahead.
Halbe Fahrt, voraus.
The guy must be very close. They have a gun. I think they haven't. I think I could just see that I sink the guy right away. Yeah, let's give it a save. Distance. Just 1 mile. Yeah, isn't it?
Torpedorohr
Yeah,
1
it is. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but I'm still curious about your stovies. You say? Sorry, I didn't get that remark in the chat. Leftover meat with onions, mashed potatoes. What is beef dripping? That's a term that I have to admit I don't know. What is beef dripping? So do you finally fry that? Mix mashed potatoes, meat, onions. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds very good. So would you cook it in kind of a stock? So the beef dripping, is it kind of a stock? Oh, there they are. Let's get to the, well, let's save for now and then get to the surface and see what we can do. We don't even know the nationality yet. It's British, isn't it?
Kurs setzen.
Ah, okay. All right. The yeah, okay, all right. Like the rashes of the pork, but just from the beef. Yeah, okay.
Anblasen.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloy.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloy, feindliche Schiffe machen sich gefechtsbereit.
Bleibt wachsam, aber keine Panik. Wir machen das schon.
So give me the deck gun, please. Hey, what about? There it is.
Geschütz besetzen.
It's British, is it? Yep, definitely. Communicate. After your crew sends the light signals that you are going to sink the ship, there is no immediate reaction. After a while, you notice the ship starts to zigzag. So they are not answering.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Yeah, hold fire for now
Äußerste Kraft voraus.
and then go for them. Let's sink them with the deck gun. Yeah, it's the red ensign, yeah.
Feuer an Deck.
Already. Very good.
Kurs setzen. Kleine Fahrt voraus.
really gives some holes into the hull. Amazing. Yeah, come on, they should be going down by now. Yep. Get some shots onto the waterline, yep.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
Die Besatzung evakuiert das Schiff.
All right. That should be it. Yeah, there they are going down. Could I already get the lifeboat? 1, 2. Only the officers are welcome in the Reich. Meanwhile, not that I like it, but that's how it is. And give them supplies. Which would give us a bit of additional reputation. Guys, where are you? Now there. They should be going down soon. But let's wait to make sure that we get the score. Going down.
Sie gehen unter. Gute Arbeit, Männer.
And there they go down. So we got that.
Halbe Fahrt voraus.
And with this, wouldn't make sense to get back home.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Yeah, let's go in a little large circle and see if we find some other convoys on the way back. We already fulfilled the mission goal long ago, but we just didn't run into any enemy. And here we did. Finally, we did run into a convoy and we were tracking it down, intercepting it, and right then we ran into a very dense fog. And so we were just not able to get any target, figure out any target. And finally the escort spotted us and gave us quite a beating. Still, we were able to get away, and now we sank one single British merchant which was sailing without escort. Yeah, okay, so pretty universal. Our round gun. But I somehow feel that it would be tricky to get down planes with it. But, well, still you could, I think. You could also load anti-aircraft ammunition for that gun, which I think would be kind of a shrapnel or something. Yeah, step away. Thank you very much for firing. Good job. And give it a save. So much fog all that time. We are sailing in the complete fog. I think it started, when was it? Something like 12 o'clock midnight last night. So I think it's almost 20 hours or something that we have that fog, and it's just not going away. Yeah, doing barrage with that one, yeah. Now on we go. And on the way back home, we are gonna check now and then for the hydrophone to see if there's more contacts around. So here we are. Let's give it one more hydrophone check. So what does hydrophone check mean? We are Yeah, it's an automated workflow, standard, so you don't have to do much of micromanagement. You see all the crew, all the Overwatch crew run into the front compartment, 2 sailors manning the depth steers, and in this case 1 officer, Mr. Arles, opening the valves to allow the seawater stream in into the ballast tanks to drag us quickly down. And for obvious reasons, the fore ballast tank is flooded first, and the stern ballast tank is flooded second. And down we go. So now let's give it a bit of a hydrophone check.
25 Meter.
Aktuelle Tiefe 40 Meter.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see if we have any contact.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kanoi?
50 Meter.
Anblasen.
30 Meter.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kanoi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Now it's evening. The sun being just a faint ball, so it looks like the weather is improving. If you ask me, if we see the sun like that, this might indicate that, yeah, now we already have something like 8 cables of vision range. In the past we only had 100 meters or something. So pretty much looks like the weather is improving a bit. Yep. Yeah, you just have to go straight, and so your course is pretty much predictable. And with that, there might have been quite some good hit rate, yeah. Makes perfect sense. So, by the way, let me be AFK just for 1 more minute. No, okay, alright guys. Before I'm going AFK, let me just take a look at the time. It's 20 to 3 around here, so it's a good time to go to bed. Yeah, the stream wasn't bad. I mean, finally we just sank that 1 single ship, but we got away alive, and that late in the war, getting away alive is maybe quite a good thing. So we avoided the hedgehogs, we avoided the depth charge, and they dropped a lot of depth charges. I don't remember that I've ever been dropped so much depth charge upon me like there. And we are still alive. So guys, okay, well, we have to be honest about that. We had to reload once, but on the second try, things went pretty safe. So guys, thanks for watching. It was a pleasure to have you in again, as usual. Thanks for the wonderful chat. Colin, have a good night. Weight loss, if you're still there, I wish you a good night. Islay, don't know if you're still there. You just gave a hi, And if you're still there, have a good night. It was a pleasure. Not wet, just cold. Captain Jimbot. Captain Jimbo. Great that you dropped in. Maybe you're still there. And I think that was it, right? That was the well-known acquaintances from the stream. Hey, Isley, you're still there. You're still playing Diablo. Yeah, nice. So, yeah, we are in the same time zone, so all the respect that you're still playing. But for me, I have to get to bed now. So, looking forward to see you again, maybe. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to stream tomorrow night just as well. So, have a good one and see you. Bye-bye, guys.